Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
My name is Todd, but you can call me T-Rod. I don't know.
What?
Just what would Elvis call Todd?
Oh,
Trod?
Where I was going with that.
I see.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
And we are playing Monster of the Week, game by Michael Sands. It's available at fine retailers everywhere that carry it.
Let's see.
And we started last week, so if you're just dropping into Bastard Quest for the first time, go back one episode, start there for Monster of the Week. In case you don't know what that is, it's an RPG about monster hunters. And you know everything you need to know. Corey, who are you playing?
Playing Curtis Knickerbocker. He's a young person. He is the expert. That's his archetype. What he's an expert of, I have no idea. Being mad about Star Wars, probably.
I assumed monsters.
That's poorly written.
Which one? Austin, who are you?
I am the monstrous. I'm a werewolf.
Yeah.
Chaney the werewolf.
Austin is a werewolf.
And Todd?
I'm playing Melvis Prinsley. He's the initiate. He's a member of the TCB. That's taking care of business sect.
It is definitely does not stand for that, but that's what Melvis calls it.
It's like a 30-syllable Latin word.
Yeah.
He's definitely not Elvis Presley.
Yeah, it's the Ordo Tenebris Captivitatis Bellua, but Melvis couldn't say all that.
Right.
The three of you are in Panama City, specifically at their morgue, investigating what you think is vampire attacks against beachgoers. Vampires are then dismembered by sharks, or in Austin's case, him. He just ate a victim.
Yeah.
Well, what was remains?
Yeah, I just
The
ate some
remains
of the
victim.
evidence.
I'm not trying to criticize the story here, Kyle, but who would care about these deaths?
Well, no one. That's why the TCB sent you guys, because...
I don't think we're concerned about the deaths, just monsters.
Yeah,
in
vampires
general.
on the loose, yeah. So right now, Chaney, the werewolf, who is... what's your weakness?
My curse is to feed.
That's right.
I have to act under pressure to resist feeding anytime I'm in werewolf form or anytime the opportunity presents itself. And I failed that last time, which
Right.
is why, while Chaney was in werewolf form, hoping to sniff out some extra clues, he lost control and just ate the first victim entirely, or what was left of it.
Yeah, and he's opened the second drawer to look at the other victim, maybe eat it, but realized, even though it's a dismembered torso, the victim being named Mary Hill, our Patreon member Mary Hill, thank you, is full-on vampire. Its eyes open, it shrieks, and lunges towards Chaney. He's able to dodge backwards because, well, it doesn't have legs anymore, so its lunge is not that impressive.
He just steps back.
He gets his wits about him. Upstairs, Melvis and Curtis are playing air hockey,
Curtis is not. He's
just losing.
It's dangerous. No, it's too dangerous. Yeah.
Come on over here. Strap on a pair, boy. Pick up that paddle.
I'm going to sit over here in the beanbag.
Austin, what does Chaney do? This thing is picking itself up by its arms, eyes locked on him, mouth hissing. It's preparing to attack in some way.
Can you just like push her over?
You can attempt to do whatever you want.
Yeah, he's going to attack. Hopefully to maybe try to immobilize her, like maybe just rip her arms off. So this will be a kick-ass move, but because one of my monstrous moves is unholy strength, I get to roll with plus weird instead of plus tough when kicking ass. And I have a plus 3 in weird.
Okay.
So I'm rolling 2d6.
2d6.
Okay, plus 3. That's a total of 11.
So when you kick ass, 7 or better, you harm whatever it is you're fighting, but it inflicts harm on you. Now, if you get a 10 or better, you do get to choose an extra attack.
Ooh, okay.
Or, excuse me, an extra effect. Not an
Right.
extra attack, sorry.
All right, so then we'll say I successfully attack her, but I also just kind of I grab her by both of her upper arms and just kind of pull outward and just pop her arms right out of the sockets. So we'll say that I'm using my claws for this attack. My 2 natural attacks are teeth and claws, and I do 2 harm hand damage with my claws.
Okay, so you're going to inflict 2 harm on the vampire. It is going to inflict 3 harm on you. You rip one of its arms out of its sockets, but the other wraps around your arm and shreds your biceps. Urgh. So mark down 3 harm.
Okay.
Unless you have some sort of armor as a werewolf. I don't think you do, but...
Ripped britches.
Its other arm, while it's one of its left arm, let's say, is hanging limp, the entrails start wrapping around you, and it's trying to get to your neck.
Okay.
Let me feed.
So is it my turn again?
Yeah. In this game, the GM rarely rolls dice. It's generally the players doing stuff.
All right, Chaney's going to use his teeth this time. Teeth do 3 harm, and this says intimate. So,
Are you going to buy her dinner first? Or
well, she is a Patreon member.
Wolf Hickey.
So he's going to use his teeth to bite off her other arm.
Okay, we're still kicking ass.
Yep.
Boxing Mary.
2d6 plus 3. Ooh, that's a 12.
Damn. This wolf's dynamite.
You bite her right arm off at the shoulder. She screeches and sinks her fangs into your neck when you do that. Unless you want to take... Well, I guess you're taking the extra effect to remove her other arm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to take 2 harm.
Can I spend any luck to avoid that harm?
Yeah, you can spend a luck to avoid all harm.
Okay. All right,
So
I'm going to do that.
Her mouth closes on your neck, but the fur is so thick there that she just can't find any
Well,
purchase.
the collar.
The collar,
Blocked it.
yeah, the dog collar. But at this point, her arms are gone, so you just grab her around the neck and are holding her up, and she can't do much.
Yeah.
She's still alive. She can still take 1 harm before being destroyed, but she has no arms and legs.
Yeah.
And traditionally, that has made people less able to attack others. I mean, watch a Monty Python.
Yeah.
So Chaney just kind of holds her up by the head, and as she's kind of thrashing about, and just kind of turns her in a circle, like examining, like how she got. I assume she got bit.
Yeah, she has bites on her torso and neck.
Well, we know everything we really need to know.
Let me feed just a little bit of your blood. That's all I need. Or find me someone expendable, like a hobo or a tax accountant or...
All right, we'll find you something to eat.
This is Chaney in werewolf form.
At this point, just take a cheeseburger, you monster.
But first, you got to tell me where you were when you got bit. Meanwhile, up in the break room, Melvis is telling Curtis a story. So anyway, there I was, Las Vegas, Nevada. Not there performing, understand, because I'm not Elvis, I'm Melvis, but I was there to see Elvis perform, and I come across this couple of German fellas who had a magic show, and I said, fellas, you know what that show needs? It needs a tiger.
I need a juice box. Nana don't let me have them because I get riled up. Good for dinner.
So the two of you do hear screeching and yelling and ripping and splattering coming from the morgue below you.
Yeah, we're used to this.
The receptionist, Chris Rod, that's been showing you around. He looks at you. Should we go check on your buddy?
No, he just got the zoomies.
Oh.
Curtis, tell him, he has this, our friend Chaney has a thing he's called beast mode that he goes into when he's investigating dead bodies.
He's a skittle. It'll calm him down.
Austin, it sounds like you're investigating a mystery. I think this is interviewing a witness. She's not necessarily hostile to you in terms of answering questions about what happened. She just would like to drink all your blood.
Yeah. So I have a sharp plus 1. I guess you could say I have 1 sharp. So I'm just rolling 2d6 plus 1. It's a total of 8.
So basically, you can ask one question. It's not necessarily a question you're asking specifically of the victim. This is just a question you're going to get answered as you're investigating, which in this case is interviewing Mary Hill. So what question are you trying to answer?
Where were you when you got bit?
So the vampire, her body goes slack. On the street? She closes her eyes and you can tell she's thinking. Walking home from a bar? I was the sober one?
She perusing a bootleg T-shirt stand.
Yeah.
There's only one of those in Panama City, so it should be good.
Like, I don't remember. We're walking past some condominiums, and this kid steps out. He's like, I don't know, a teenager maybe, younger. And he just looked at me, and then everything goes, I don't remember anything after that. And then I woke up here. I'm just so hungry. So she was walking past some condos. It was late at night. Saw a kid. Nothing after that.
Condos, that narrows it down in Florida.
The Jungle Oarsman. That was the name. I remember because I thought it was stupid.
Ah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Doesn't even make any sense. Why was a jungle have an oarsman?
All right, well, then you'll get something to eat, just like you asked the next time somebody lets you out of the drawer.
And he kind of stuffs her back in the drawer and closes it.
This seems unsafe, but okay.
Quick as a flash, this werewolf is zooming around, hoovering up all the blood around on the floor. And then,
like lapping it up?
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
I understand why you guys just let him do his investigations by himself.
Yeah. As he goes, he slowly kind of transforms back into a human, takes a seat over in the corner, just kind of waiting on everybody to get back.
Well, come on, Curtis. Let's go down and see how old Chaney's doing. I'm going to tell you right now, though, I'd bet $1 on it that what we're dealing with here is a sharkula. That's right. It's a sharkula. It's a Jaws pyre. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go down the boat, find an old boat with a salty-ass sailor on it and a sea cage, and go out on the hunt for this thing.
I'm not supposed to go on a boat.
So Melvis and Curtis and the receptionist go down to the morgue. Everything is pristine. Chaney is sitting in a chair in the corner,
Picking his teeth.
and the receptionist is about to say something, and then that's when you hear a banging sound coming from one of the vaults.
All right, well, we really thank you for your hospitality, but we really must be going.
The receptionist, what the fuck is that? It's just this bang, bang. You know, that sound of someone banging hard on a stainless steel
cars
surface.
and their rap music.
I can see it shaking, and you look over and the vault is like quivering.
I know the bass is really loud.
So are you guys going to leave, or are you going to dispatch the vampire before you do?
Tell you what, I might have a few questions for whatever's behind that door over there. I'm going to go over there and open that thing up. And he opens it up and slides the thing out, and there's Mary
vampire
thrashing
torso.
around. Yeah.
Hi, can I eat you?
Look here, little lady. I got one question and one question only for
Are you Elvis?
No, the name is Melvis Prensley. I just
Pretty sure.
got one question. Are you lonesome tonight?
Yes, hold me.
What's Chris Riley doing?
Well, you're not sure. You heard a scream, and you looked, and he's gone.
I'm gonna kill it.
All right, you go ahead and kill it. I
Okay.
think we've got everything we need. She was bit just outside the Oarsman condos.
So Mary Hill locks eyes with Curtis.
Okay.
She is starting to command some of her vampiric mesmerism.
Okay.
It commands you. So you have to roll your cool.
Well, lucky for Curtis, he's never been able to make eye contact with a woman.
I will give you a +2 to the roll in this case, because that is appropriate.
Okay.
So she's trying to command Curtis to come closer and let her feed on him.
Okay.
Yeah, so you roll your cool basically to not do that.
So Curtis's cool is +1 somehow, and I'm getting a +2, so that is a 12.
Nice.
So on a 10 or better, you can choose to do it if you wish or not. Now, right now you're thinking, why would I do that? So if you follow Vampire's command and do whatever it is they're asking you, you get XP and take +1 forward, meaning you get a +1 to some other roll.
Okay.
So you could do this and take XP and take some harm from being bitten if you wanted.
Well, considering we never play games that long, I will forego the XP.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So how does Curtis react when he breaks the mesmerism? By just not looking at her.
One of Curtis's gear is mallet and stakes, which I think is a good thing to hit vampires with.
Sure.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Night Court.
So he fights both the allure of the mesmeric eyes, and at the same time, he's zoning in on the chest of the vampire, and he's like, oh, breasts. So he's trying to keep it cool there.
My eyes are up here, buddy.
She realizes the mesmerism isn't working on Curtis,
I'm just reading your T-shirt.
and she looks at Melvis, and her eyes start to scintillate. She said,
Oh, it's not going to work on you. How many lewds have you done today? Jesus.
Corey, is Curtis going to stake the vampire?
Yes.
I'm just going to say yes. She doesn't have arms, and
Okay.
she's failing her mesmerism.
So that does 3 harm.
Oh, she's down. Yeah, you
Okay.
stake her, and she goes,
I don't deserve this. My name is Mary Hill. Remember me.
and bursts into ash.
I will post about you.
All right, so the vampire is dead for now, and we know where we're hunting next. The Jungle Oarsman condos.
Meanwhile, Curtis is furiously posting to the subreddit titled, Technically touched a woman today.
Curtis's Facebook just changed to It's Complicated.
Technically dead, but when I get to heaven, we're gonna hook up.
Oh, God.
Tell you what, I like the name of this condo we're going to. Did you know that Elvis got a room there in Graceland called the Jungle Room? It's my favorite place in there to hang out.
That sounds gross.
Anyway, the three of you find yourselves standing on a street, sidewalk, beautiful Panama City, Florida. Jewel of the nation.
God.
And the Jungle Oarsman condominiums rise up in front of you. Beach on the other side, of course. About 14 stories. people going about their day. It's the middle of the day.
All right, so what do you guys say we rent us a room and wait for nightfall?
Well, they're condos. I mean, you could do an Airbnb or Verbo maybe.
That'll be more expensive, but okay. The Monster Squad hates renting Airbnbs because the cleaning fee for Chaney is astronomical.
Melvis is going to change into more appropriate beachwear.
Sure.
He's going to put on a bathing suit. And the bathing suit is white and it has rhinestones sewn into it. And instead of flip-flops, he's wearing those ninja shoes that have like the space for the toe, and he's got a robe, a gold lame robe. So
he's keeping it subtle. So it's summer. There's a lot of people in Panama City. I'm going to roll randomly 2d6 to see if there's anything available. High is good for you, low is bad. That's a 9. So you do find something on Verbo that's available today, only for a couple days though. It's really expensive, but fortunately the order is picking up the tab. It's on the second floor.
Perfect.
Can somebody carry me upstairs?
I'll take you up there piggyback, son. Hop on.
I got a hole in my heart.
In the shape of a beautiful vampire.
So you guys get into your condo. You have the middle of the day. If what you are searching for is a vampire, it's probably not going to be hanging around or running around in the middle of the day.
Dibs on the bottom bunk. I fall out sometimes. Nana calls them night flops.
Yeah, I got the top bunk.
There's a 14-page list of things you have to do before you check out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Though I shouldn't malign Verbo. Verbos are definitely not as bad as Airbnbs.
Yeah.
But it's extensive.
Apologies to all Verbos.
All Verbos everywhere.
Quick question. Y'all take a perusal of those rules and let me know if there's anything in there about having to pay extra for shooting at the television.
Oh, look, they got free fentanyl. I love Florida.
They sell it at the at the T-shirt stands.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
It comes in a Parmesan shaker.
I got my Narcan inhaler. I'll be fine.
Curtis has a lot more drug experience than I would have expected.
Nana makes me carry it. She saw a video where a policeman looked at her.
Just immediately went down.
He exploded.
Curtis is actually on as many drugs as Melvis. They're just all antihistamines.
Right.
He's got an IV drip for Benadryl.
It doesn't even make him drowsy anymore. It just,
He's rubbing ground up Claritin on his gums. Oh God, that's so horrible. Just do cocaine like a normal person. All right, what's your plan to catch the vampire? The teenage vampire.
I say we use the nerd as bait.
Nana says I'm not supposed to bite. She says I'll go blind. My palms will be hairier than you.
Is that why that happens?
This explains a lot about the werewolf.
Look here, Curtis. I'm going to be honest with you. Going to be straight up. If you really went blind from doing that, then old Melvis here would have lost his sight at the age of 10.
All right, so we're going to use Curtis's honeypot.
Yeah, we're just going to post him that parking area below all those. You know how all those condos?
Oh, yeah.
There's never condos on the first floor. It's all parking.
Yeah, they'll have like 2 levels of parking.
Yeah.
And the first floor is really the third floor or something.
Yeah, so we're just going to have him hang around loitering, maybe trying to talk to women. And
It's okay. Good luck.
it doesn't matter how successful you are, but
Right.
eventually he'll draw out someone who's looking for sad, lonely individuals.
Well, and to sweeten the deal, Curtis will put his beachwear on, which is essentially a hazmat suit. He's completely covered from head to toe, but he'll leave the scarf off, exposing his neck.
Ah,
Yeah.
Leave the
strategic.
scarf off.
It's his beachwear. We all know it, Curtis.
Yeah.
I am a Curtis. I can't go in the sun.
What time are you guys starting this? As soon as it gets dark, or
I say we start at midnight. That seems,
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably be looking for, according to, Mary's story, he was kind of looking for people who were ending the night after getting drunk and lowering their defenses. So, yeah, he's probably out patrolling for walks of shame and the like.
Hey, Chaney, got a question for you.
Yeah.
Since this vampire seems to be feeding on people leaving bars when they've had a little bit too much to drink, should we get Curtis drunk first?
I think we should all get drunk.
Well,
Got such responsible monster hunters.
Well, I tell you what, Melvis likes the sound of that right there. Let's get some drinks.
Ow, ow.
So you guys head down to the Leaky Pelican,
okay.
which is the beachside bar and grill closest to Jungle Oarsman. You belly up to the bar, and I assume you're just drinking the fruitiest, highest alcoholic drinks they have.
Melvis is going to have a bunch of those, what they call in this bar, the banana bitch slap.
All right.
It's lots of rum
Yeah.
and banana.
That sounds like a really good combination, actually. What does Chaney drink?
You know what? In honor of our adventures today, I'll have a Bloody Mary.
There you go.
I'll have a Phil Mickelson. If you don't know how to make it, it's half milk, half water.
I thought he mispronounced a Michelob, but
Nope.
The bartender, of course, stereotypically is cleaning a mug with a towel, looks at Curtis, and just says, no.
Okay, I'll have a bag of Capri Sun. No straws, too pointy.
Just sucks them out of the bag.
Just chews on it.
So, is Curtis going to drink any alcohol?
No, he knows better. He's only seen one movie, and it was Leaving Las Vegas.
So, the 2.5 of you drink heavily. Curtis does not. And you head back to set up your sting.
All right, CK, you're on, buddy.
Curtis goes into the parking garage, starts wandering around. This is definitely an act under pressure for Curtis.
Okay.
Now, while he's wandering the parking garage looking for vampires, where are Melvis and Chaney? You don't have to give me exactly. Just what's your general location in relations to this 2 floors of parking garage?
Chaney's panhandling by the elevator.
Gotcha.
Melvis karate chops the attendant,
Okay.
and he posts up there with the attendant's booth.
They have little vests.
Yeah, he's still in the robe and the bathing suit. Yeah,
sure.
He takes the robe off and puts the vest on with no shirt underneath it.
So he's just got ninja shoes, a rhinestone Speedo, and this vest.
Yeah,
Yeah, a guy pulls up, middle-aged family. It's like they look at the parking attendant. The dad leads out. Where's Brad?
he got the night off. We're having a special tonight. Y'all just pull on in there, parking free tonight. Thank you very much.
They go on in looking like the kids are climbing up over the seats to look at the weird parking attendant. And Curtis needs to act under pressure.
Okay.
Melvis, as the new attendant, has control over the PA system, obviously, so we just keep hearing suspicious minds playing over and over.
Well, and there's also monitors in there, so he can, there's video.
Absolutely.
If you want to spend a luck, there will be.
I'll spend a luck.
Cool. Then there are cameras that work in the parking garage.
Yeah.
If it didn't, it was just going to be an ADT sign that they stole from somewhere.
Yeah.
Curtis has a special move called I've read about this sort of thing.
Oh, God.
When he acts under pressure, he can roll sharp instead of cool. And he has a +2 sharp.
All right.
Perfect.
I'll write about this in parking garages throughout the ages.
That is an 11.
So at a 10 plus, you do what you set out to do. In this case, it's around 1 a.m. Curtis has been wandering the parking garage for an hour or two. You come around a corner, and you're in one of the narrow corridors where at the end is the elevator and the stairwell, and there's very irregular lighting. But standing in the pool of light by the elevator is what looks like a teenage boy in a hoodie, swimming trunks, flip-flops. His face is completely concealed in shadow, and he's just staring dead at Curtis. So on the monitor in the attendance room, or in like their little shack outside, actually, which is where Melvis has been, you have video camera feeds of every angle, and what you see is Curtis just stop dead in his tracks, frozen, staring at seemingly nothing.
Melvis glances up from the Rockford Files episode that he was watching on one monitor and
Yeah.
sees this happen.
Now, just for like the audience is concerned, there's no boy in swimming trunks showing up on Melvin's screen.
Because vampire.
Because vampire. So, and to put it into context, Chaney would be panhandling on the level below.
Oh, okay.
The kid in swimming trunks looks at Curtis, says, "Hey, how's it going?
I'm not supposed to talk to a stranger.
You look like you're over 21. Can you buy me beer?"
I never got a driver's license.
I'll give you $100 to buy me beer. Come on, mister, help me out. I'm just a young kid.
Buddy's got germs all over it.
He starts slowly walking towards Curtis. Not aggressively, just almost casually.
So Curtis knows the vampire who attacked Mary was in the guise of a teenager, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm assuming Melvis would be able to see that it looks like Curtis is talking to someone. Perhaps?
Maybe. We'll roll because these are crappy video
Sure.
camera feeds.
Can we say that we worked out some kind of signal beforehand? Because we know enough about monsters and vampires to know that.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a protocol working together.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
you guys are a team, and that's something reasonable that, you would have worked out and thought about.
Okay.
It's not as if Melvis just noticed that these were crappy video cameras.
Okay. So Curtis slowly starts backing away and employs the agreed upon signal for danger, which in this case, he removes his retainer and holds it high above his head and lets it glisten in the neon lights.
Melvis in the booth says, "Oh, hell, we have retainer. Time to jump into action. Time to take care of some business."
So Melvis starts heading that way. Is there some way that Melvis is supposed to signal Chaney?
I would imagine Melvis just shoots into the air.
This is Panama City.
No.
How's he going to know that that's the gunshot? It's America we're talking about.
That's true, but Melvis draws his 9mm and shoots out all of the TVs in the attendant booth.
All right, so Chaney gets to his feet, limbers up his muscles, and then pushes the elevator button.
Badass.
So the kid vampire's head tilts to the side like a dog's. Why are you doing that for? That's weird.
You need to keep your distance.
So I assume your intention here is to stall him until backup arrives?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that's going to be manipulating him.
Okay.
So that's charm.
Curtis is going to speak to the teenager about what he thinks teenagers want to talk about.
But these fidget spinners are great, ain't they?
Roll your charm.
Okay. Curtis has a 0 in charm. That's a 5.
I don't know what that is. He springs into action, parkours off one of the concrete stanchions, and is coming down, slams into Curtis. Curtis feels these claws bite into his shoulders, and of course he hits the ground. You're going to take 3 harm.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Boy, this is rough.
And you can see the kid's face in the light. He's got red, glaring eyes, opens his mouth to hiss, vampiric teeth. That's when you hear the ding of an elevator, and Chaney steps out.
And this snarling werewolf just comes charging out of the elevator.
Ah, okay. And Melvis comes running around the other side of the parking lot, dressed like a psychopath, waving a gun.
Yeah. And when he sees what's happening, he aims the gun and says, "Hold on there now, Beach Blanket Bingo."
The vampire kid looks around. Mom's going to be pissed. He leaps off of Curtis and starts sprinting incredibly fast towards the openings on the outside of the parking garage.
All right, so Chaney's going to make a move to try and snatch him before he can escape.
Okay.
So what do I roll for that?
So what's your intent here? Are you trying to kill him or capture him? Or just stop him?
We'll say just stop him this round. Is that still going to be kick-ass?
No, I think you can act under pressure, and there wouldn't be any inherent risk of harm since you're just trying to cut him off, essentially, and not necessarily do harm to him.
Okay, then yeah, I am going to stop him. We all heard him say Mom's going to be pissed, so we know there's probably a household of vampires possibly that we need to track down, maybe with even within this condo.
Maybe he meant like Mom's against drunk driving, and he's in AA. Why are you jumping to conclusions?
Can Curtis help out here?
I'm going to say Curtis is on the ground going, ow, 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 because he's not used to being hurt.
Okay.
Melvis would like to help.
Okay, how is he helping?
I'm going to guess that with his gun.
I mean, it's given Melvis's previous history, I assume so.
Yep, he's going to use his 9mm, which is the only weapon he has on him at the moment. It's been stuffed inside his Speedo all day, is where,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can roll your help out before Austin does Chaney's act under pressure.
When I successfully help out another hunter, they get a +2 instead of their usual +1.
If you make your roll.
If I make my roll. Okay, so I'll be rolling cool, which Melvis surprisingly has a 0 in. That's a 12.
Damn, he rolled double 6s.
Yep.
So, but still just a +2, right? I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a +2 for help out instead of a normal +1 because he's got, what is the name of that perk?
Helping hand.
Cool.
Yeah, just nothing bad happens as a 12. Okay, so describe what it looks like when Melvis helps.
As the vampire is sprinting away, Melvis aims his gun and he shoots the 9mm into the ground and like right in front of where the vampire was getting ready to jump, and does like a perfect line of them, causing him to pause just long enough for Chaney to pounce.
Okay, cool.
That's cool and all in the game, but to be fair, if you were to do that to a modern teenager, that would not bother them at all. They've been to a school.
This school shooter sucks. He didn't even hit me in the face yet.
We trained for this in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Got a bulletproof backpack.
Oh, America. So, in addition to my +1 cool, that means I'm rolling +3 total to my D6s.
Yes.
That's a total of 10.
God, the bottom is going to drop out of these dice soon.
I know.
Chaney slams into the teenager who had skidded to a halt in front of Melvis's line of bullets, and Chaney and the kid slam into the back of an SUV, completely ruin the rear of it, just crumpled metal and broken glass. The vampire kid is hissing, trying to claw at Chaney's face. Let me go! Let me go! He's trying to kick away. Curtis gets to his feet. He's definitely bruised and clawed.
My fanny pack got ripped.
Chaney is just struggling to kind of just keep the kid pinned against the car with one clawed hand, staying just out of reach of the kid's own, like swiping clawed fingers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Melvis has a thing called that old black magic. Could Melvis employ some magic here to attempt to hypnotize the vampire?
Ooh.
How do you actually have that perk? That sounds like a fucking Elvis song.
Sinatra, actually, but anyway.
Oh.
He's young, so I'll say you can attempt it.
Okay.
A full-blown vampire in their prime, no.
It says, when I use magic, I can ask a question from the investigate a mystery move as my effect.
Yeah, sounds awesome. It's a smart idea.
So Melvis steps up. He's standing there in his Speedo, the vest, and his ninja boots. He looks the vampire dead in the eye and just slowly starts swiveling his hips back and forth. Uh-huh. You see that? Mm-hmm. You like that, buddy?
Why are you doing that?
And he just keeps doing it a little faster and a little faster and a little faster.
I want you to stop, sir.
Oh.
Jenny looks around to make sure no one else can see this.
Thank God it's late at night.
It's like, come on now. I know you want to throw them panties at me. Come on.
What? Are you high?
Yes.
And he just keeps swiveling faster and faster and faster. So I'm going to roll my. I think this would be weird.
It's weird, yeah. It's huge magic.
So I have a +2 in weird, thankfully enough. And I rolled a 3, which
shit.
would be a total of 5. However, I'm going to spend a luck to make that a 12.
Ooh.
So essentially, this counts as investigative mystery. So you get 2 of the following questions answered. I'll just hand the book over to you, and you can show what the questions you can ask. Or get answered, rather.
Strangely enough, once the vampire is hypnotized and Melvis stops hip swiveling, some guy in a light blue leisure suit comes out with a cape and puts it over Elvis and just walks away. Look here, young feller. There's one thing I want to know and one thing only. I want you to tell me what you're concealing here. I want to know what the secret is. Tell Melvis.
We're on vacation. I'm not supposed to be feeding on people without mom and dad. Oh, I'm in so much trouble.
All right, let me ask you one more thing then. What is it that you and your parents are doing here? What's your plan?
We're just on vacation. School spring break. He shakes his head, kind of shakes off the influence, growls at Chaney, and then his body almost pops and folds back inside to the clothes, and a horde of rats falls from his clothes and just starts running across the parking garage.
No!
Seeking to escape. They're just crawling all over Curtis.
No!
Seemingly on purpose that time. Like, running towards holes and drainage pipes and doors and stairwells. All the rats are screeching.
Well, would you look at that? Boy done turned into buttload of Willards.
Follow those rats.
They seem to be moving mainly up the stairwell.
So I guess we chase after the rats.
Yeah, so acting under pressure.
So I'm going to make this an investigate check, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Because using my wolf senses, I get a +1 extra to that.
Okay,
So I'm going to be rolling +2 sharp.
cool. Yeah,
to
that
keep
makes sense.
up with them. That's a 9.
Chaney bounds after the rats. They're leaping up steps, and they go up to the 7th floor, just pouring down one of those outside halls. You hear a woman scream, jump out into the corridor, still in wolf form. A couple doors down, you see the rats are just pouring into a door with a doggy door on it, and the last one squeaks and pops in, and the door flaps. A upper middle-aged woman turns around slowly, sees you, eyes go wide, and she just completely passes out, faints.
Well, let's roll that act under pressure to resist feeding.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I have a +1 to cool.
Okay.
Can Totara help in this situation?
I'd say one of you could, sure. You
Okay.
guys have been keeping pace as best you can.
Well, Curtis has no choice because he's attached to Melvis with one of those, like, child tethers, like, that they use at amusement parks and shit.
Slow down.
You don't want him to get lost.
So Curtis puts his hand on Chaney's shoulder and says,
Chaney, you remember that time I ate that whole box of cookies? But my tummy was in awful duress. Resist the food urges.
Okay, you
All
can
right.
roll your help out.
so that's cool, I believe. I have +1 in cool. Somehow cooler than Melvis. Got a 7.
So you give Austin a +1, but you also expose yourself to danger.
Well, that goes without saying.
Which means that if I fail, I snap at you, too.
Oh, shit.
That's a good idea, Austin. Good job.
Thanks.
Roll,
So
Austin.
here I go. I've got a total of +2 to my roll. Hey, that's a total of 12.
Whew.
Oh, okay.
The healing words of Curtis.
Yeah. So you force the beast back into its box. So it is probably it's around 2 a.m. The kid has fled into a room, it's a 7th floor, room 12. And he indicated there's at least 2 other vampires.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you guys how to live your lives, but you are professional monster hunters. Fighting 3 vampires at night and wherever they're holed up
Yeah.
is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think we should get a good night's sleep and come back in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up way past my bedtime.
And you hear this growling sound, and out of the doggy door, this canine head pushes its way out, and this huge dog crawls out of room 12. It's this black mastiff with these glaring yellow eyes just looking at you guys. Now, Austin, Chaney can smell. This is not any sort of werewolf. This is some kind of tormented ghoul dog.
Like one of those hounds that protect vampires, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
Almost exactly like one of those.
Gotcha.
Chaney leans down sniffing at this thing until the very moment it straightens up and looks hostile.
I mean, it's just standing outside of their room staring at you guys growling. It's not advancing.
Oh, okay.
Let's go downstairs.
I think we've had enough action for one night, fellas. We'll say we go back to the room, turn on the TV. I believe Roustabout is showing on TCM here in a few minutes.
I need some Bactine.
You're the one in charge, Melvis.
So we're going to rest up for the night and try to get them in the morning.
Yep.
It's a pretty good strategy against vampires, I'd say.
Turns out.
Okay.
Fairly well, young canine. We'll be back when the sun is a-shining.
He ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I knew I liked you, CK.
What happened?
So you guys head back to the safe house, apply some basic first aid to the claw marks in Curtis's body. So your harm's going to reduce by 1.
Okay. Does harm reduce like when we rest and stuff like that too?
Yeah, it reduces by 1 after like basic first aid or a rest period.
Okay. So,
Okay, great.
So does that mean it's reduced by 2? Since
No,
I'm
no,
arrested?
I'm counting it all together.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we will pick up with the vampire hunting next week.
Okay.
Yeah, go after him in the daytime. Always a good strategy.
I've found that it is. Yes.
So rarely happens in vampire movies, however.
Yeah.
Well, they tried it the very first time in Dracula, and it just wound up anticlimactic.
Well, as you can see from the fight with between the werewolf and the half vampire, vampires are pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't sparkle at all.
No, they don't.
And they're not not filled with angst or guilt or anything like that.
Mostly just want your precious bodily fluids,
Yeah,
like the communists.
right.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, you guys had a really good plan. Curtis is a great honeypot,
Oh, yes.
and actually
Many say that.
surprisingly capable.
I mean, he's got his talents.
He's an expert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our rolls managed to last through this whole session.
Yeah, we lucked the fuck out with some rolls this week.
yeah.
You did. You guys, yeah, you rolled very well. hopefully that does not endure next week and the vampires kill you all.
And if you would like to roll well, go to NorseFoundry.com. They have all manner of dice made from all manner of materials plus other fun merch. NorseFoundry.com. After you make your purchase and you're in the checkout line, enter promo code CHAM, that's CHAM, CHAM, for the 10% Bastard Quest discount at NorseFoundry.com. And we would be remiss if we did not mention our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
Why is there a doggy door in the bathroom?
So they used to have an in-bar alpaca.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And he would like to stick his head in there just to
Say
see.
hello.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barrel and Bond, great bourbon bar. If you like bourbon, go drink it. Man, they're getting their money's worth.
They actually let you drink the bourbon in the bar. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they have beer and wine and small plates and all kinds of good stuff. Good cocktails.
But most of all, thank you for listening. We appreciate all our listeners and our Patreon members, a couple of which were featured in this episode: Mary Hill and Chris Riley and Herc Oarsman as Jungle Oarsman Condominiums.
Ah, yes.
Herc the Condo.
Yeah. But if you want, feel free to give us a shout on social media, or please rate and review any of our episodes on any of the various podcast platforms.
Yeah. And if you do want to support us on the Patreon and don't want us to use your name, that is fine. Just shoot us a message, say no.
Yeah. We're happy not to kill you.
Yes.
But thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.